and thank you for watching another video tutorial about home theater. Today we're going to be talking about the different home theater system configurations. You have heard by now 5.1, 7.2, 9.2.4. It's so technical, at least it sounds technical. But today our intent is to make it very easy. We have prepared a nice animated video to illustrate better what we're talking about. So you're going to learn how the different system configurations are set up, and also the differences between each other, so that you can make a more informed decision on what you want to have yourself. First system we're going to talk about is the most basic of all immersive sound systems, 2.0. It is called 2.0 because it comes with 2 speakers and 0 subwoofer. 2.0, 2 speakers, no subwoofer. On this configuration, you have 1 speaker in front of you on the left and the other one also in front but to the right. And this is a fantastic, great system for listening to music. In fact, a lot of people will prefer this configuration if all they want to do is listen to music. This is also called 2-channel system or stereo system. You can also use it to watch movies. And it's gonna sound pretty good if you're sitting right in the middle. You're sitting in front of it, but in the middle of that couch. If you like to sit towards the end of either side of the couch, then not so good for movie watching. For that, we want to make it better for movies. We're going to need to add a 3rd channel at least, the center speaker. The center speaker is going to make things a lot better. A lot of people will say that the purpose of the job of the center speaker is to produce all the voices, and there's a little bit of truth to that, but really not all voices come from the center speaker. Some will come from the left or right speaker, some will come from the back, but true enough, most of the sounds will come from the center speaker. But that's not the primary job of the center speaker. Its primary job is to balance the front and left and right sounds. In fact, that's what it was created for. So when we add the 3rd channel, the center speaker, now it doesn't matter where you sit in front of it. You can sit in the middle, to the right or to the left. You always get a good balance between left and right sounds. If you want to add a little bit more spice to that sauce, let's do that. Let's add 1 subwoofer, 3.1 system. And that's because we have 3 speakers and 1 subwoofer. Easy enough? Well, not only easy, it's also great. It's a lot better. The subwoofer is going to make us feel explosions, thunders, a lot of different effects that you see in the movies, gunshots, things like that get spiced up by the subwoofer. It also makes you feel like something's vibrating, but in fact, nothing is vibrating. Nothing should be vibrating. It's just moving air, and that's how you feel it. You also feel it because it works on low frequencies, and the human ears stop listening at a certain level, say about 20 hertz. So anything below 20 hertz, you will only feel it, not hear. A little bit above 20, maybe between 20 and 30, there's more of a feeling than there is hearing. But definitely you should add a subwoofer to your system. Now, 3-channel or 2-channel system, you also call it 2.0 or 3.0, is pretty good for small rooms. 2-channel system it's immersive because there is sound separation. So the sounds that come out of the speaker on the left is not necessarily the sound that comes out of the speaker on the right. Sitting in front of it and listening to music, close your eyes, you'll notice that some instruments you're going to hear from the left and some other instruments will sound on the right. So it's immersive because it's going to give you the illusion that you're sitting right in front of the band. Same thing happens when you're watching a movie. If a car goes from the left to the right on that screen, the sound should come from the left speaker first and then ending or disappearing on the right, giving you the illusion that the car really did go in that direction. Now let's get things a little bit more advanced. Let's go to 5.1 system. All we have to do is add 2 more speakers. This time we're going to add them right there behind us in the back. We're going to call these speakers surround speakers or surround back if we have more than 2 surround speakers. These speakers are going to make us feel more immersed because now we have a second dimension. We have sounds coming from the back. We have the front, we have the back. Now we're feeling like we're in the middle of the jungle with sounds, birds coming from one side, wild animal sounds coming on the other side. So the sound is going to envelop the listener and make you feel like you're in that movie. So it's a lot more realistic. Now, after that's 5.1, what can we do? Well, we can add more channels, but we can certainly add another subwoofer. In another video, we're going to talk about the benefits of having more than one subwoofer. Let's add a second subwoofer, and now we're going to call this 5.2 system. It's great, it's equally as immersive, there's just better distribution of the low frequencies throughout the room. We want to make this better, let's add 2 more channels and call it 7.2, because now we'll have 7 speakers and 2 subwoofers. The new 2 speakers, as you can see, we'll have them on the side. So now we have 3 speakers in front, including left and right, 2 speakers in the back, 1 on each side, and 2 speakers in the middle of the room, 1 on each side. So this system is now going to be a lot more immersive because it's going to hug you in terms of sound. You're gonna feel the movies a lot more realistic this way. So when do we need a 7-channel system? I normally recommend it when we have 2 rows. Definitely when we have 2 rows. When we have only 1 row of seats, it's good to have 2 more channels on the side, but definitely we want to have it when we have 2 rows of seats. We can also add 2 more speakers on the side, 2 more surround speakers, and call it a 9.2 system. But that's more recommended for larger rooms. So let's jump to the latest technology in surround sound system, Dolby Atmos. This one, we're going to start with adding 2 speakers up on the ceiling, and that's going to give us the 3-dimensional sound, the sounds that are supposed to come from above you. Let's give you an example. Let's pretend there's an airplane moving towards you in the movie. So you should hear that airplane in front of you first, and then above you, and then behind. That's gonna make it a lot more realistic. You're really gonna feel like an airplane really went by just above you. And if we wanna be a little bit more fair to everyone sitting in the room, we can add 2 more speakers, and we're now going to call this 9.2.4. Remember, the first digit corresponds to the number of speakers on a horizontal dimension. That is, in this case, the number of speakers on the wall. The second digit, or the digit after the first dot, corresponds to the number of subwoofers. If it's a 0.1, that means we have 1 sub. The number after the second dot corresponds to the number of Dolby Atmos speakers. So a 9.2.4 will have 9 speakers on the wall, 2 subwoofers, and 4 speakers up in the ceiling. To recap, a 2-channel system is recommended for music listening. 3-channel system is great for movies on a small room. It could be a small TV room, or it could be a bedroom, and sometimes living rooms as well. Definitely better than a soundbar. 5-channel system, or 5.1 or 5.2, is better if you need more a system that's more immersive, that's gonna make you feel or get sound from all around you, and that's recommended for home theater, media rooms, and of course also for living rooms. 7 channels if you have 2 or more rows. Actually, I would say if you have 2 rows of seats. If you have more, then we'll go to 9 channels. But a 7.1 or 7.2 or 7.4 is great when you have 2 rows of seats, so that everyone gets to have a real nice sound. And then Dolby Atmos. Don't forget to include Dolby Atmos. In fact, Dolby Atmos is one of the most important things because it's the latest, it's the flavor of the month, still is, even though we've been doing Dolby Atmos systems for a few years already. 7.2.4 is usually a great way to go, but it all depends. Take all these things in consideration and make your own decision. Get the help of a professional and follow their advice. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button. Turn it on so that you can get notified every time we upload a new video. It's always going to be about sound system, audio visual system, whether it's home theater or speakers for listening rooms, etc. But we're going to show you everything we know. Not a lot of people is willing to do that, but we are. Let us know in the comments below if there's a particular video that you'd like us to make, and we'll take that into consideration. We'll try to please everyone. Don't forget, give us a thumb up and stay tuned.